This is Pastors Live, a Rev FM production podcast. Join Pastors Dave, Ty, and Shane for a fresh, fun, and often unpredictable take on faith, the Bible, and the world around us.
Hey everybody, it's Pastors Live. It's Thursday. It's December 18th. You know what? Just a few more days until we get to celebrate the birth of our Lord Jesus Christ. And we invite you to come and join us here at Water Springs Church for our Candlelight Christmas Eve services. We're going to be talking about the gift, God with us. And we're going to be having those services at 1 p.m., 3 p.m., and 5 p.m. I do want to let you know there are 3 different services. It's not one service at 1 o'clock. It's 3 different services. The first one is at 1. We look forward to seeing you here. Bring friends, bring family. We're going to talk about Jesus. We're going to sing a whole bunch together. It's going to be a great time. And, we're going to play with some fire, So that's one of my favorite parts about, Christmas Eve. And that's somebody asked me the other day, why isn't your beard long anymore? I said, because I lit it on fire during a Christmas Eve service, and then I looked like Yosemite Sam, and so that had to go. So, but it's Answer the Phone like a Buddy the Elf Day. So I didn't call you guys this morning, but I should have done that just to see if you guys were on top of that. But
Buddy the Elf, what's your favorite color?
Would it be red and green? Is that what it would be? I don't know.
Not I.
No, okay, yeah. So,
red and white.
Red and white. But also, this is my favorite one. It's Learn to Fluently Speak Second Language Day. I can't do that in a day. I can't do that in a day. What do you guys think?
I agree.
I can try.
Right. Well, you guys have heard the, somebody who speaks 3 languages, we call them trilingual.
Yeah.
Somebody speaks 2 languages, we call them bilingual. Somebody speaks 1 language.
As
American, yeah, that's kind of how that rolls, So, but yeah, it's great. We're looking forward to it.
Shane speaks Buddy the Elf pretty fluently.
Do you speak Buddy the Elf fluently? No, yes, yeah.
I do.
He speaks Trump well.
And he speaks Trump.
Yes.
Right?
The 4 main food groups, right? Candy canes, candy corn,
and syrup. You like sugar, don't you?
Is there sugar in syrup?
Yes.
Then yes.
Oh my goodness.
'Tis the season.
Well, hey, by the way, if you want to participate in the program, it's Pastors Live at the Rev.fm, Pastors Live at the Rev.fm. We would love to hear from you. Guys, I'm just going to point this out, and we have people that don't live in East Idaho, but I need to point this out. Have you guys noticed the traffic seems to be getting worse, or is it the drivers are getting worse?
It's traffic.
Is it traffic? Okay.
Yeah. I don't think the drivers are any worse than they have been. There's just more of them out there.
Yeah, it's the classic problem, and as Idaho Falls grows, that same problem just amplifies.
Right.
Because you have extended family, you have college kids all coming home for the holidays.
Oh, that's a good point. It's all the peoples.
Yeah, and visitors or whatever. And Idaho Falls' infrastructure it can't keep up with it.
I would like to just point something out that I think would solve some problems. You're not supposed to block an intersection.
Even if the light's green.
Yeah, don't block the intersection because that's what I experienced. I experienced that coming into the studio this morning. Mm-hmm. I experienced gridlock, which I haven't actually ever experienced here in Idaho Falls. So that was new. Dave, I know you've experienced gridlock. You were in the LA area. And things like that. So it's if people don't know what that is,
we experienced gridlock. I mean, decades ago when Sylvia and I first got married. Pardon me, in 1970. And by the way, happy anniversary, honey. Today is mine and Sylvia's 49th dating anniversary. Our first date was 49 years ago, December 18.
Congratulations.
Yeah, you betcha. But in any case, when we first got married in 1979, we both worked for Coca-Cola LA. I drove, what do you call it? A carpool van for Coca-Cola. And we lived 22 miles from our front door to Coca-Cola LA, and it took 90 minutes.
Yeah.
That was back in 1979. And, it's no wonder people flip out and do all kinds of crazy behaviors now. Yeah, it's funny because 2 days ago, 2 days ago, we were reading in Revelation, about the angels holding back the winds. And in our small group on Tuesday, we were talking about that. What do you think the LA basin's going to look like when there's no wind to blow all that junk out, But,
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we had gridlock even back then, you guys. And now, gosh, I try not to go back and visit unless there's an emergency or a funeral or a wedding or something like that, and you have to go. And it's insane. I remember I was there a few weeks ago for my mentor's funeral, and I drove from John Wayne Airport to the DoubleTree in Whittier. Not that far.
No.
Not that far. It took me an hour and 15 minutes. And I just thought, holy moly. And it wasn't even the worst part of the day, because after 5 o'clock,
Oh, yeah, that's
LA
game over.
just shuts down.
Yeah.
You are crawling.
Yeah, that's game over right there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's what, and of course, we were doing, you and I were doing radio ministry, and one of the reasons it was so popular in California was people were in their cars and
Stuck in your
commutes.
car.
No,
And,
that's
yeah,
right.
and so, no, seriously, that's what made Christian radio and obviously talk radio super
Yeah.
popular, because people were in their cars
Yeah.
for kind of almost a minimum of 90 minutes.
Minimum.
And of
absolutely.
course-
And if they lived
Yeah.
in Moreno Valley, it was 2.5 hours.
Right.
So they would turn on either KBRT on AM and listen to Rich
Little?
No.
Sorry, I just
for
couldn't
crying
help
out loud. Anyway,
We're having problems with names today.
for
just so
crying
y'all
out
know.
loud, we sure are. He was great though. He was one of the first guys in LA on Christian radio. But if they wanted the solid Bible teaching on K-Wave, right on 107.9 in Orange County, and you could take in Pastor Chuck, Jeff Johnson, John Corson, and all these great Bible teachers, Dave Rosales, and you'd be basically in Bible college every afternoon on your drive home, and that was important for many people. That's what got them through the gridlock.
Well, and it also, a lot of salvation came out of that. What people don't understand is what was happening is, okay, so if people don't know the history of radio, Gary knows this. In the history of radio, there was a thing called the Fairness Doctrine. And the Fairness Doctrine was something that says if you have one opinion, if you have one opinion for 1 minute, you have to have the opposing opinion for 1 minute. And so this was a huge thing that went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And so that is why things were very, very different until the Reagan era. So during the Reagan era, what happened was Reagan deregulated the FCC. And so he pulled back the regulations, which allowed there to be full subject stations. And that is when Calvary Costa Mesa reached out and they bought 107.9, which is a commercial station. And they began that process. This is before K-Love. This is before Air One. And it was Bible teaching. I mean, it was just Bible teaching and all for hours and hours and hours. And so they put their, obviously they put their best foot forward. So their best teachers were in drive time. But in the LA area, everything is drive time,
That's true.
because you're in the vehicle so much. Even if you're going to get lunch, sometimes that's drive time. It's 90 minutes to do those things. And so I really appreciate what happened. And that's why we can exist. Obviously we're non-commercial, so that picked things up differently, but we also don't have the Fairness Doctrine issue anymore. And so now what we can do is we can actually just talk about Jesus fully and completely. We're not required to bring anyone to our microphone. We are actually in a place where we can actually do that. And that's what made that so amazing. And so many people, if you don't know the history of radio and especially the history of Christian radio, that teaching part was so powerful because people were they hook in and they'd listen. And these are people that didn't go to church, but they're actually able to go to church. If you think about it, you may not go to church, but now you're sitting through 6 or 7 teachings on your way home. I mean, that's like going to church for a whole week.
Right.
And these people were really changed by hearing the word of God.
100%.
Yeah.
Of course. Right. Yeah. I mean, that's Romans 10:17, right? Faith comes by hearing and hearing by the word of God. Now, what was interesting in LA, in Los Angeles County, the diamond lanes really became popular, and you had to have 3 or more people in a car in those early days to ride in the Diamond Lane. Now, Orange County wasn't quite as gridlocked yet, but as Orange County into the late 70s and early 80s was getting more and more crowded, they too, the 405, the 5, and these other freeways, in Orange County also went to the Diamond Lane. But in Orange County, you had to have 2 or more people in a vehicle, whereas in Los Angeles County, it was 3 or more. And I still remember listening on the radio to one of the county commissioners, and they asked him, how come in Orange County you only have to have 2 or more people? And he said, because you can't get 3 people in a Porsche.
Oh! Well, funny story when we went to...
That's awesome, dude. That is
I remember that interview. I about pulled off the road. I was laughing so hard.
When we went to Denver, right? So I grew up in that culture as well. The Diamond Lane was 2 or more in my city. And so, when you go to a lot of other states, it's the same thing. Well, not in Denver. So Steve was telling me about our trip, and how we took the Diamond Lane,
right?
When we went together as pastors. Well, in Denver, it doesn't matter how many people are in your car. You actually have to have the pass.
Oh, you have to have the pass.
And so Steve goes, man, on your trip on OCC, don't take the Diamond Lane. It's not free.
It's not free.
Oops. So thanks, Denver, for pulling a quick one on it.
Oh, no.
So how much do we all have to pony up?
I don't know.
I hope it's not per mile. It's like but here's the thing. We've got some great Bible readings, by the way. And I really... This is a great thing, and I know. And Dave, we probably want to mention this too. Our trip to Israel is starting to get full up. So if you're thinking it's going to be a Christmas gift, you might want to get on it.
Let me tell you how full it is. We now, as of yesterday, we only have 2 reserved seats on the plane left. Now we have 44 registrations, but 6 of those are people who only did the land billet, right? So they're taking care of their own flights. We have 40 seats that we've reserved on our airline that we're holding for our group, which means we now only have 2 of those seats left. What's more, when we go into Jordan, they only allow 48 passengers on the bus. So in reality, what I'm saying is
we can only go to 48. That's it.
We have room for 4 more people, but we only have room for 2 more people that we have reserved seating on the airline. It doesn't mean you won't get on that flight with us. It just means you got to take care of your own flights. We've already reserved 40 seats. 38 of them are taken. So if you're thinking, hey, I'm going to surprise my wife with this great little stocking stuffer, and surprise, we're going to Israel, that's a great stocking stuffer or a great Christmas present. Do it today.
Yeah. And
so the way to do that
right
is to go to watersprings.net, click on registrations, events, and then follow the prompts on the Experience Israel tab. And you'll see it there, or the Experience Israel link, pardon me. So watersprings.net, registration events, and then follow the prompts on the Experience Israel link. Do it today, because we just had our meeting at 5:30 this morning. That's how my days usually start. I'm on the phone with the people in Israel that we're working with. And when we hit those numbers, we have to close registration. And after that, there will be a wait list for people, that if there are cancellations between now and June or something, that you can pop in. But you'll be on a wait list. So if you're like, no, we're going to Israel, today's the day. Get on it.
Yeah. I thought we'd point that out just to make sure everybody's on the same page.
Yeah, buddy.
So, yep. Hey, so listen, we did some comments and questions that came in. Again, like I said earlier, Pastors Live at the Rev.fm, Pastors Live at the Rev.fm. Would love to hear from you. But, we have an interesting proverb today, guys. I thought it was interesting. It says, do not malign a servant to his master, lest he curse you and you be found guilty. That one's really interesting. How do you guys, when you come across that one, obviously we understand, it's a proverb. and there's wisdom in that. What do you guys see as the sagacious knowledge that's in that space when you guys look at that one? Do not malign a servant to his master. Obviously, we don't live in. Obviously, this is written to a culture where slavery was more common, and so what do you guys do? How do you guys process that one for a kind of our contemporary space that we now live in?
Well, Pat, the Apostle Paul writes in Ephesians and Colossians that we are not to malign or slander anyone. So this couples very well with those passages. When you malign a slave to his master, think of it like you go to your boss and you talk smack on a fellow employee to your boss. The proverb is pointing out that you look more like a fool than the guy you're talking trash on to the master. And so it's great practical wisdom for your work environment is if you've got something like maybe an offense or you're critical towards another employee who you think isn't doing their job or is a bad employee, you're not supposed to gossip or slander or malign that person to your boss because it really just makes you look like a fool.
Right.
Well, I think you're spot on. I read this, and it's almost impossible to not think about the internet age in which we live. Right. You can go on Facebook, X, Instagram, whatever other platforms are out there. And you can malign just about anybody, right? And honestly, if you don't know, or if you're just copying and pasting, ooh, that was pithy. Oh, wow, that was clever. We're going to talk about that celebrity, that politician, that Christian, whatever it is. People are really, really brave. What you used to call them, Ty? Keyboard warriors.
Oh, yeah, keyboard warriors.
Right? As long as you're behind the keyboard of your computer, you're so stinking brave. But what if you were sitting down, across the table over a cup of coffee with that person? Would you feel just as comfortable accusing them of this, that, and the other? And the reality is, when you're doing that, remember that their ultimate master is God. So if I'm going to malign Gary or Ty or Shane and, talk about them badly, they have a master whose name is Jesus.
Yeah.
And, that's what we're talking about on this program. That's what we're all about on this program, is having that right relationship with Jesus. And here's the thing. I can get really upset with you, Shane, right? You're not doing this or that, or you disappointed me, or whatever. You know what I mean? I've decided that somehow you haven't met my standard. Okay, so I'm going to malign you, maybe badmouth you to Ty or to Gary, or maybe to God. Mm-hmm. Man, God, just really let Shane have it, man. Let him stick it to him, And the Lord would say, so Dave, how much blood have you shed for Shane? Because you haven't shed one drop of blood for these guys in the studio, or the people that you work with, or the members of the congregation of Water Springs, or the church throughout Idaho Falls area, right? Dave, I shed my blood for them, and you know what? They're under the blood, man. And that's what this program's all about. We want to see people come under the blood of Jesus Christ. And sometimes Christianity gets this rap, you guys are a bloody religion. It is a bloody religion, because without the shedding of blood, there's no remission of sins.
Hebrews.
And Jesus came to this earth. It's funny. Isaiah says that God holds the entire universe in the span of his hand, and that he holds the earth as if it were a speck of sand. Right? Isaiah chapter 40. But it also, we're told that God himself became a man in the person of Jesus Christ. He became one of these little specks on this little blue ball we call earth. He became one of us, and he who knew no sin became our sin, that we might be made the righteousness of God in him, 2 Corinthians 5:21. Mm-hmm. And that's what this program's all about. We want, and that's what Christmas is all about, man.
Right?
That's what
Absolutely.
Pastor Ty is teaching here in just 6 days coming up here on Christmas Eve at 1 p.m., 3 p.m., 5 p.m. The gift is God with us.
It's God with us, and it's amazing to me too when we consider how gracious God is. That God. But yet, while we were still sinners, Christ died for us, right? Like, we didn't do anything. We didn't ask for it. We didn't deserve it. And yet, he sent his only begotten Son, so God in flesh, to be our rescuer. And so it's not like he's up above. He actually kind of joins us in our mess. And it is the real rescue. He's not a lifeline. He is life itself, and he came to rescue us. And we're going to be talking a lot about that as we get closer to Christmas Eve. So we're looking forward to that. And of course, this weekend we're going to be talking about the greatest of these is love. We're going to be talking about that together a little bit this weekend. So come and join us for services this weekend. Listen, you're loved, your family. We're out of time for today. But hey, if you got time today, learn to speak a new language. Go for it. All right. We'll talk to you later. God bless you. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to Pastors Live, a Rev FM production podcast. Join us again for more Bible talk, laughter, and unexpected tangents. Questions or feedback? Pastors Live at therev.fm. And don't forget to subscribe and leave a review.